Yeah. It's your boy Champion. This is the Champions Here show.
Hey guys, this is your co-host Six. What's up?
And it's your boy, Mr. Longchamp here, co-hosting.
Six, that's a regular.
Oh, come on. That was good.
No. This is still gonna go. We're still gonna go in. This is not
we're
gonna
Not a
keep
drill.
going.
Okay, good.
We're keeping it.
Right, but I thought it was gonna be more pizzazz. You know, I'm gonna surprise.
It was pizzazz.
That was okay.
I felt pizzazz.
Yo, get out of here.
You feel pizzazz, Gabe? I felt the pizzazz.
Okay. All right. So today, first and foremost, I want to just give a shout out to all the viewers. Thank you, for tuning in and chiming in and questions and all that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And just moving on.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Tonight I want to talk about thoughts. Talking about the mind.
Vibrations.
Yes, what is it? What exactly is it? It's a phenomenon, you know what I mean? So basically I want to, what's your take on it, Gabe? Six, what is your take on what thoughts are?
I
guess I'll go first.
Thoughts are super powerful. They're a while ago I didn't realize how powerful the brain was, and it goes in conjunction with like what you speak, of course. So what you think, you become. What you think about, most of the time you become. So I didn't know how powerful that was until I started to actually think more positively. I've always been a very positive person, and I've always been like, yeah, it's gonna be great. But I found that a lot of the times, even though I thought I was actually trying to make something happen with my thoughts, that necessarily wouldn't happen, and I would be disappointed, which actually would bring down my vibration. But come to find out that when something doesn't happen that you think about, you should actually keep that same optimism, and you should continue to be positive, because you have to stay on that wavelength. Because if it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, you have to be patient enough to and believe enough that it will happen. And once I started to do that, I realized like, whoa, like it's actually happening. And then you get more and more excited when the things that you think about, positively, and it just, when they come true, you're like, wow, this is crazy. This is like, you get more excited about it. But that's how I feel about thoughts. Thoughts are awesome. It's good to be in.
That's dope. That's dope.
So what do you think what thoughts are?
I would say like as far I know what thoughts are. Thoughts are things that you think about. It's whatever transpires in your brain, whatever transpires in your mind.
Oh, okay.
But as far as like what, like, because like I definitely had different mindset. I'm sure there were a lot of people that had different mindset about what thoughts are, as far as like, once you're from a childhood to growing up. Because as a kid, you could always be in your head and always want things, and you think about things all the time. But it wasn't until I got more knowledgeable about what my thoughts were creating for me that I realized like how important it is for you to think positively and think about the things that you want instead of thinking about the things that you don't want. Because either way, whatever you think about is what you're gonna get. So if you think about the things that you don't want, you'll get that. If you think about the things that you do want, you'll get those things too.
Okay. So basically, what thought is? Thought, it's something that's vibratory. It's a vibration. And what it is, before I can go into that, is I will say that first I have to go into what consciousness is. And to get a better of idea of what consciousness is, you got to watch the experiment called the double slit experiment. You see now, real quick. So the double slit experiment. So what it was a scientist did an experiment where he shot a photon of light in between paper, and it hit the board, just a blob on the wall. Shot it again, hit the blob. So what they did was they put two slits in the paper, and they noticed that it made a wave. It made a a wave pattern on the board, and they couldn't understand that. So then what they did now is they put a camera on it, and what the photon did was it just went one side, then the next time it went to the other side, then just the other side, took the camera off, and then now when they shot it, it was a wave pattern again. So what they concluded is that that light particle was conscious that it was being observed.
Mm.
So once that once I saw that, I concluded that atoms, everything has consciousness in it. So it definitely changed what my idea of what consciousness is. So I believe that God is literally spirit, universe, Jesus, Allah, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence is essentially consciousness itself. You see what I'm saying to you? It's omnipresent, it's omnipotent, it's omniscient, it's everything, it's everywhere, all at the same time. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you have two phases of mind. You have dynamic mind and you have static mind. So the vibration, the act of thinking, that vibration changes those phases of that same mind. It's just like sun, it's like day and night. Think of the sun being the vibratory force, and it changes the actual realm that you're in. It just changes it. It's the same place, just giving you a completely different phase. That's it. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So the act of thinking is what changes your mind. So thought is actually a gift. So now you can act on the consciousness. You can act on it. And when you act on it by just thinking, it now manifests through your body and you actually do. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So again, you're hungry, you're thinking about it, you're gonna eventually do something about it. You're gonna actually move into that
Towards
direction.
that.
You see what I'm saying to you? You gotta go to work, you know you gotta make money. You're not gonna stay home all day, right? You can't do that. You're gonna actually get up, get dressed, and move into that. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So the act of thinking thoughts you manifest now. What is tethered to that is emotions. Now, emotions are stronger than thoughts.
Wait, before you get into that, I was wanting to, because I know you got a little bit deep, and
Yeah, it was deep, but it was
I
so
was
like it was definitely deep, but it was clear.
I don't want to lose the people, you know. So just real quick, because before you move into emotions, just to kind of break down vibrations just a little bit more, because this is something that scientists, you know, actually did experiments on in the past as far as like understanding what the atomic makeup is of everything in the universe and coming down to
I'm happy you stopped me. I'm happy you stopped me.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
as far as breaking down what
I was
everything
thinking
is,
the same
because
thing.
when you break down everything to an atomic level, we all are the same thing. We're created from the same atoms, you know, which are breaking down into electrons and protons and neutrons and all of that. And they eventually found out that they can break it down even more. So in between those things are what's called vibrations. And this is why, you know, when people can be on the same vibrational frequency, this is how you attract the people that you hang out with. You attract the type of activities that you do. When people are chilling, people call it vibing. So, you know, just wanted to kind of explain that a little bit deeper before we move on.
So yes, is
Yes.
after that Six?
Yeah. So what I wanted to add to Gabe's point is we are all composed of the same atoms, as he explained, and the only thing that makes us different is the type of energy or vibration that, you know, basically that atom puts out. So it's like a different type of energy. So like a table is composed out of atoms, but it's vibrating on a different level. You know, I'm made, you know, composed of atoms, but I'm vibrating at a different level than that table. That's why I'm not a table. So, right. But yeah. So yeah, but that's what I wanted to add.
And so to add to that, so everything is a trinity, right? That the Holy Trinity is mind, body, and spirit. So atoms are essentially a trinity. It's a proton, neutron, and electron. You see what I'm saying to you? So that vibratory energy, the consciousness, is always going to be the consciousness and the two dualities, good and evil, light, dark, that hot, cold, yin and yang, and all of that. So basically, light and vibrations are essentially the same thing. You know, you can look at it from one spectrum, you can say it's light, or you can say it's vibration.
Right.
Scientists have done a study and they call it string theory. You know what I mean? Then the next level would be atoms. Then the next level would be photons. The next level would be, I believe, what is it, DNA? Then cells or whatever. And then you go, you know, inner space and outer space.
Yeah.
So you have that, right? So you have that consciousness, you have that vibration. And also what comes with that and tethered with that is your emotions. Now,
Yeah.
emotions are a little stronger than thoughts because it's the thoughts, like if you're taking a class, it's the thoughts that tell you to go to the class, but it's your emotions that decide where you're going to sit. Oh, I'm going to sit next to that girl that I like or that guy that I like. You know, I'm going to sit away from this person because they stink. They smell
Mhm.
shower, no deodorant. I'm going to sit away from
Emotion.
it's those emotions. So basically, those emotions and those thoughts are what tether us together. We create our reality and then we co-create our reality together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying to you? So if you create something, I didn't necessarily create what you created, but I created that experience that brought you to me. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically it's that, like Gabe said, it's that frequency that we're all aligned with that tethers us together, that brings us together or repels us, it pushes us apart. So this is the things that I believe that we can go even deeper into it, but basically that's what basically what thoughts are. It's just something that's vibratory.
Yeah.
It's like taking something, it's the tuning forks. The tuning fork is the brain.
Yeah.
Mallet actually hitting it is the thought process that's making it shake.
Yeah. We just got one of those tuning forks. I got to use it more often, but yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's a big
Yeah. Thoughts. So talking about emotions here, emotions are definitely stronger because a lot of the times, you hear the term, I blacked out. You blacked out. I beat him up. I blacked out. I didn't know what happened because you just let your emotions take over.
Mhm.
So it's important to be in tune with your emotions and to make it a point when you feel like you're going to a place where your thoughts are about to leave you and your emotions are about to take over and just kind of reel yourself back in. So that's something that a lot of people do struggle with, I believe. And it's something that I've struggled with for sure. I mean, sometimes I'm just like too emotional. And most recently, I've actually received texts where I was a little bit emotional about, and I was gonna be like, you know what? But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna think about it, and then I'm gonna go back
100%.
into it.
100%. And the thing is, the whole concept, behind this to wrap everything up is that it's really important to know who you are and know yourself, understand the triggers, the things that make you tick, because it's your responsibility on how you react and how you respond to things.
Yeah.
People cannot make you react or respond to something. People cannot make you happy. People can't make you love somebody. Like, love me. You can't make anyone love you. You have to have love in yourself, love yourself, and have self-esteem. You just need to, the only thing you can do is control the two things in between your ears. That is your responsibility, and that is steps to mastery.
Of course.
It's
right.
just steps to mastery. So next week I want to talk about thoughts today because next week I want to dive into chakras
Yeah.
and just basically, I just want to leave off, if you guys want to say anything, you got to mind your business. I came up with this a while ago. You got to mind your business so you can mine your business.
Mm.
You It's mining. You're going into the faculties, the caverns of your mind, and digging deep and
Yeah.
understand who you are, because you don't know who you are until you face some certain situations and circumstances to find out all the things that make you tick and how you respond and interact with different people and circumstances, animals and what have you. And the reason why the mind is so powerful, because animals don't communicate with words, but yet fish know how to move without communicating.
Yeah.
Geese know how to fly in a certain pattern without communicating verbally. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sounds, and because it's the mind. You know what I mean? So when you have thoughts and emotions, people know how people feel when they go into the room. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna step out of here, or you know what? This is the room, or just like I said, the emotions or whatnot. So it's very we're telepathic. We don't, and we need to just, work more on, tapping in into our abilities, our powers, because we are,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're super beings and we have superpowers.
Oh, we do. We
You know what I mean?
certainly do. We just have to realize that we actually have that superpower. And it's, I wanted to add also, I do this meditation, which is very short, but it's so effective. What I liked about it the most was I was dealing with a lot of emotion when it was in relation to other people. I felt like other people were pissing me off, and I was like, why do I get so emotional? I need to like get out of that. I need to be, in my bag, like they say, like I need to get out of my feelings. So the good thing that he said to me was question other people's motives in you. So like basically, what is that person actually trying to say, and empathizing with them, and where are they coming from with what they're saying? And would you do that? Would that make sense to you? Why would you do that? Why would that person do that if that were you? So I thought that was very effective and it helped me a lot. So I actually wanted to leave that final thought. It's not so much of a question, but for for our viewers, if you are watching this, when you're at that moment where you feel like, your emotions are taking over and your thoughts are leaving you, take a moment to think about why that person is reacting or doing or asking that of you before you actually counteract. And that's kind of like my thought out there.
Yeah, sometimes just to add to that, sometimes like you shouldn't always take what people say personally, because sometimes what they're saying, sometimes it could be more about themselves and just how they're viewing something than what you really think about it. And one other thing I was just gonna add when you was talking about self-esteem is just what it always reminds me about what Cat Williams said in one of his stand-ups. He was talking about how women say like, oh, blah blah, how you make me feel a certain way, and like my self-esteem is down. And he's like, how could I make you feel bad about yourself? That's why it's called self-esteem. It's the
I remember that.
Your mother the self. So that always comes to mind. And, think positively.
I agree.
It'll affect.
I agree.
Your future
I
life.
agree. And people wouldn't realize that until they're in that position where they have to come to the conclusion, like, do I love myself? Do you love yourself? Like asking, it's a good question to ask yourself. Like, how do you know you love yourself? How do you know you're happy? Who needs to make you happy? Those are questions that are very important to kind of get to that next level so you can start, because awareness is key. Once you're aware, you'll start making the changes that need to be made.
Correct. And also, last but not least, I know I've been saying this a few times.
Wrapping it up.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Not over yet.
Last but not least, it is very important that you take responsibility for everything that you do, because we like to play the blame game. That's what we like to do. Women like my girl, pregnant, women like to say, "Oh, I had a daughter, and she made my nose big, or she made me gain all this weight. If I was a boy." No, you want to blame the baby, which had nothing to do with it, when it was your diet. You know what I'm saying to you?
It was, and let's take it a step further than that. It was you who decided to have the baby. So
I mean, no, I mean, yeah, yes, but I'm just saying, like, we wanna blame, but what we need to do
yes,
is we need to take responsibility for the things that we manifest.
agreed.
You know what I mean? You need to what you do today, you plant the seed for something to grow and the next day or the next week or the next month from now. And then
Yes.
you want to blame situations or circumstances or other people. It's easier when you should take responsibility. So my motto is everything is your fault. The way people talk to you, the way people
Mhm.
interact with you, everything. You get into a car accident, and some people may say, "Oh, you know, victim blaming," but I'm not. I don't believe that I'm victim blaming. You know, is it your insecurities that's drawing more people to
Mhm.
get on you? You know what I
The
mean?
vibes.
Yeah. Is there those are those things that you're attracting? The things that you fear the most are the things that you're attracting the most.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to thoughts and just make a switch. It's not easy. This is the hardest. It is easier to rule a kingdom than it is to rule your own mind.
Hmm.
It is easier to tell people what to do than to also be accountable of those same things that you want people to do. So,
Gems.
so that's basically it, guys.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Shout out to you know, to our listeners, our audience, to Spotify, iTunes, everybody, on all the podcast stations. Appreciate you guys. If you guys been listening, you know, if you're here for us, definitely subscribe. Shout outs to BT Group. If you guys didn't get to catch last week's episode, definitely go check that out. We had our boy Kojo on here. Shout outs to him and the Coastal Foundation. And Kev, I'll let you do the rest.
No, Six. Do you have any shout outs?
Shout out to Home by Six. I know you're probably gonna shout them out, so I'll just stop at there. And yeah.
All right. So big shout out to you know, Longchamp Success, you know, Lee Realty Group. Big shout outs to Brooklyn Cove because we got the yachts and the, you know, we got
Yeah.
all those things going on. Also, big shout out to Moving Keys because we are moving keys. And shout out to the cast, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you guys. You guys doing a great job. Appreciate you. And yeah, that's basically it.
One last shout out to Mad Sky Trucking.
Mad Sky.
Yes.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Sir.
Don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button. Yeah.